Oh, wow. That was awesome. Yeah, well done, Jamie.
Yeah, I think I come across better than I thought I was going to. But yeah, I think I did do all right. Yeah.
You did amazing. You really did.
Like first, I was really nervous because I didn't have a clue like what I was gonna say, and I was really nervous. But like once I started talking, obviously you were pretty easy to talk to, so I just kind of had to forget that it was gonna eventually go out there.
Yeah. What do you think to all this? You must be incredibly proud of Jamie.
Absolutely. I mean, I recall the very first day when Jamie came into my office with her mom, and literally, pretty much, Jamie was mute. I would be asking questions, and hi, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Mom. I can see you in the background.
Hello, Jamie's mom. Okay, so thank you so much for coming and joining me on our second podcast, Searching for Truth Uncovered. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, Jamie and Julie, Jamie's mom. So if you can just explain what the sort of the chronic illness was from that you did eventually find out. Can you explain that for us? I can't say it. It's I'd get it completely wrong if I tried to say it.
Me as well. Donna.
So it's called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That's like the main condition, which then causes all my other conditions. So it's an issue with my connective tissue. So like your connective tissue holds your body together. Mine is not very good. It's too stretchy. So it doesn't hold everything in place so well. Which has then gone on to cause other problems. So I got Arnold-Chiari malformation. It's hard to remember everything. What else do I have? I have a postural tachycardic syndrome, mast cell activation disorder, delayed gastric emptying, jugular vein compression, and I do have a spinal fusion as well. I was told I had spinal instability. I think that's it.
Bless you. And I know you're still in battles with getting all of this sorted, but thanks to you really, and Kim and your mom, you're not letting this beat you, which I absolutely commend you for. I'm really, really proud of you. It was lovely to see in the interview just how your physiology started to change, and I even started to see you smiling. I think your confidence started to come up towards the end, and I actually feel that we could have carried on. Do you want to just share how it felt for you, Jamie, at your end? You're gonna have to put your mic on.
Like first, I was really nervous because I didn't have a clue like what I was gonna say, and I was really nervous. But like once I started talking, obviously you were pretty easy to talk to, so I just kind of had to forget that it was gonna eventually go out there, and just concentrate on then. And I felt more at ease, and managed to just say what I needed to say.
Yeah, and just be in the moment of the podcast rather than worrying about anything afterwards or before. So you did do a fabulous job. I realise I've introduced Searching for Truth Uncovered, but not my co-host Kim Roberts, who is with me for the second week. Sorry about that, Kim.
It's fine.
So I'll talk to Kim in a moment. Obviously, Kim was also mentioned in the interview because she's been a great support for you. Do you want to just share a little bit about that side, Jamie, about Kim?
So I first saw Kim probably over 4 years ago, and like I was quite skeptical at first about the energy therapy, but like the first session, well, like it completely changed. But at that time, like I wasn't like I wasn't committed. Like I wasn't ready to change. I wasn't ready to be open to other things. And then it was around this time last year that I started getting into my journaling and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought of Kim, and I thought I've got to go and see Kim again. So this last year, obviously, it's been seeing Kim pretty regularly, and over the last year, like I think like my confidence is definitely a lot better. Like I said before, like I would not have done this last year.
Did you hesitate when it was put to you about coming on Searching for Truth?
A little bit, but ultimately I think I knew like that I had to do it.
So you sort of knew, you had a feeling that you wanted to share. Yeah.
And it was like the next step for me as well, like to put myself out there, which is something that I wouldn't have done before.
Yeah. And before I come to you, Kim, on that, Julie, for you, I mean, you've, from what I know of the story, you were very much Jamie's voice for some time. So how is it for you now? Obviously, I know there's still issues on the medical side, but how is it for you now with regards to, you know, Jamie slowly being able to, you know, getting her confidence back, and how does that make you feel?
I feel really good about it for Jamie, and it takes some of the pressure off myself as well, that Jamie has started to speak up for herself, you know, especially when we see medical people. I can sit in the background, and Jamie will do most of the talking herself now, and it makes a big difference.
You've spoken to the medical people and complained about your surgery being delayed, and you would never have done that before, would you?
No. What happened was, like, I spoke up for myself, like in the appointment, like face to face with the doctor, whereas before I kind of would have just like not accepted what he said, but like just took it and walked away quietly. Whereas this time I was like, no.
Kim, what do you think to all this? You must be incredibly proud of Jamie.
Absolutely. I mean, I recall the very first day when Jamie came into my office with her mom, and literally pretty much Jamie was mute. I would be asking questions and Jamie would look at me, and then she would turn and look at her mom as much as to say, answer her. And you know, it was painful to watch Jamie not be able to express herself as such. I remember the first time she had it was energy therapy. Back then quantum therapy was off the back of energy therapy. But regardless of whether Jamie was ready for that or not, that still would have had it still would have had the same effects in clearing stuff from Jamie's meridians, the suppressed emotions and the imprints of the energy field, whether Jamie realises that or not. So I wonder actually whether right from that onset there's been a process, and that maybe just cracked the nut. Who knows? I don't know, because every person is an individual. But then years have gone by, a few years have gone by, and I didn't know if I was going to see Jamie again or how she was doing or whatever. But then Jamie came back, and Jamie and Mom came into the office, and it was like, where's Jamie gone? And it was just, you know, it was beautiful to actually see that, you know, Jamie had turned a corner clearly. And as she mentioned last week, you know, with finding journaling, changing her mindset, X, Y, and Z. I'll let Jamie talk about that. But what I have actually witnessed is Mom being able to take a step back. And what we actually agreed when we first come together was to do some graded exposure work for Mom to sort of start stepping out the picture, for Jamie to come, you know, be on her own with me, maybe come to the clinic on her own. And she's actually doing all those now without my help. So I'm very extremely proud of Jamie for you know, for that courage, for reaching within, for challenging in what has been for her quite critically emotional stuff that she's been through, with what she shared with me. And I've got to commend her for that. She's got a mom always behind her. Julie, I think you're an amazing mom. I just need to say, I think you're absolutely amazing. And I don't know what else to say really. I just think just the whole thing, Donna, is just beautiful. Just seeing how it is unfolding. I mean, clearly on the physical health side of things, the challenges that Jamie has got are felt by Jamie and the mom, you know, because if it was your daughter going through stuff, you would feel that, wouldn't you? So, you know, I commend them both. Yeah. But you know, I clearly do see, I mean, each time, so for example, you know, Jamie might come to the office, you might say, well, what am I doing for her? So Jamie might come to the office now, and so all the, maybe some of the stresses and the anxieties that she's challenging along the way still get suppressed in the physical body. So when she comes to me, we clear all those. She goes out fresh as a daisy, and then I see her in 2 weeks' time again. But each time she comes back, she's challenged a doctor, she's had a realization about something, and it's just magical. It's beautiful. It's the unfolding of this young lady's future, present, sorry, you know, in the present moment of what she, you know, from 2 weeks. I mean, you know, I can't wait to see her in another 2 weeks.
Me too.
See what happens next.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's a brilliant story of something unfolding here, and I look forward to seeing what Jamie does down the road, you know.
Yeah, me too, definitely. How are you feeling about seeing the trailer?
I don't know, I'm nervous, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not sure I like watching myself on
Oh, you're beautiful.
You are beautiful, and nobody likes watching themselves.
Yeah.
We are our own worst critics.
It's the accent as well.
You were fine. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Don't worry about that, because it's not about any of that.
No,
it's about the message reaching. And as you said in the interview, if it reaches just one person, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that it's going to reach more than that, and that's why I have extended the trailer to 5 minutes. So because I wanted to really get across the sort of complexity of this with you, you know, the going for the surgery in Barcelona, you know, the letdowns, the childhood trauma, and obviously then the turning point. And, you know, I thought it was really important if someone just wants to watch a small bit, and hopefully that will get them encouraged to watch it even further, or you know that actually there's somebody else out there that's going through the same as me. She's doing all right, maybe I can too. That's what we want, isn't it?
Yeah,
ultimately. And for you to get better, that's what we want.
Well, that's going to happen.
It is going to happen. I love your attitude. I love it.
Brilliant, isn't she? The last time we met, we were talking about triggers and some of the challenges that Jamie's recently had after you know, she did the podcast as such. And, you know, she said herself, this could be quite triggering for me, Kim. She goes, but, you know, she's reflected and she's still pushing forward and changing that old programming from that childhood, you know, sort of trauma from when she was back in school of being controlled and being told what to do. And I mean, that's what we spoke about last time, wasn't it, Jamie? And
yeah.
You were very, very mindful of that repeating itself, but you said, I'm not having it.
No.
And no, she's not having it, Donna. No, she's definitely not having it.
No. And one of the main reasons for doing this is to start something that will be a resource for guests that may have triggers. So Kim and I have talked about potentially having a forum of some sort, you know, if need be, because sharing your story out on the public domain is a big thing to do. You know, it's a very brave thing to do. A lot of people don't do it. But if no one shared their story, then how would others know that there's other people experiencing what they're going through? So
yeah, like I think if maybe when I was younger, I'd seen somebody who had gone through this, been able to listen to somebody who'd gone through it and come through the other side, then I might have, you know, had a bit more hope when I was younger, instead of like being so angry and thinking that, you know, that was it for me, you know.
Yeah, this is why I did say in the interview, I thought you'd be brilliant working in schools. You know, once you get your confidence is rising, and who knows where that voice is going to go. But there's a lot of children in schools sitting in assembly that could do with someone like you getting in front of them. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Brilliant. So we're going to play the trailer for you now. It is 5 minutes. It's really not been easy for you from when you were at school.
I always knew I was different, but I wasn't sure why, which caused a lot of anxiety starting around the age of 6 years old. Regards to the teachers at school understanding and getting medical professionals to listen to me, we just didn't get anywhere. Like, I used to be sick at school, and I don't think it was dealt with in a very good way. It was kind of like unnecessary for them, if you know what I mean. As a young child starting from 6, I became like very good at pretending that I'd eaten, at hiding my food, stuff like that. But one time they did used to sit and watch me eat, which obviously made me way more uncomfortable. But one time they found out that I hadn't eaten, and I'd been told to sit on like these mats at the back of the hall, and they brought out the TV and put the TV like next to where I was sitting, but facing the other way. So all the other kids obviously come in facing my direction to watch the telly, but they'd sat me down there to force me to eat my lunch. I mean, I had comments off dinner ladies, teachers, that I was attention seeking, this, that and the other, like, when that was the last thing that I wanted. Like, I just wanted them to leave me alone. I used to be like, you know, so anxious in the mornings to go to school, not just because of the eating issue now, but because of how it was dealt with by the people at the school. Like, I was just like absolutely terrified. Even at the point I was in college, I still hadn't got any medical help that I needed, and it was all just too much, so I had to unfortunately give it up.
So at this point, have you got any diagnosis?
I got a diagnosis when I was 14 years old of Arnold-Chiari malformation. but I was constantly fobbed off. I can't even tell you how many different neurosurgeons and neurologists I saw. I'd already been fobbed off a lot at that point, and I was literally like in despair. I did not know what to do. I didn't think I was ever going to get any help for my health. I was just so angry at everybody, at the world. Like, I discovered that a lot of people with Chiari malformation were going over to America and Barcelona to get their surgeries done. I ended up going ahead and having the operation, which I've ended up regretting. So I got this surgery coming up to 4 years now. I know obviously like metalwork in your head is not supposed to be comfortable, but I just felt really uncomfortable. But at first, again, I didn't speak up and say this is how I'm feeling, and I was given the news that my operation has now been cancelled. I've been taken off the list for the operation, even though I was told it was urgent, and they've referred me on to another doctor for a second opinion. When I'm anxious or angry or feeling any kind of like negative emotion, I'll write everything down that's in my head. I'll just rant and rave and say what I've got to say, write it all down, and it's like once I've written it, it's like a release, like I feel relieved. It helps calm me down, it helps make me feel better. It's basically you write a little story about yourself in the present tense, literally about anything you dreamed of, where you want to be living, what you want to be doing, maybe just what you feel like you would want to do that day, like it could be about anything. And it really does, like imagining yourself doing that right now, it does make you feel so much better. It's like you're in your own little world. Make all my phone calls for myself now. I speak up when I'm at my appointments. Yeah. Told the woman off on the phone the other day about my surgery being cancelled and nobody letting me know. So yeah.
And you're doing your first podcast.
Yeah. So definitely a lot more confident than I was. And that's definitely grown massively in the last year.
Oh wow! Well, it's awesome. Yeah, well done, Jamie.
How do you feel after watching that?
Yeah, I think I've come across better than I thought I was going to. Still not keen on the accent. But yeah, I think I did do all right. Yeah.
You did amazing. You really did. You really did. So you will have that trailer. It might be slightly different, but it will be, you'll be your trailer. So are you going to share the trailer? Obviously, I'm going to be sharing it. Are you going to be sharing it?
I think so. Yeah. I think I've decided that I want to. I mean, like, I was a bit nervous. I think my family are going to listen to it anyway. They're not giving me a choice. But with regards to sharing it on social media, I was a bit worried because I have people on there that I went to school with and stuff like that. But I think I've decided that now I'm just gonna put it out there.
Yeah. Be yourself. Be yourself. Step into yourself with that. Yeah. Well, I think it's amazing, the journey that you're on, and as I said in the interview, Jamie, I am so excited about your future and where you're going, and I know everything's going to be okay, and just as you do, because there's no other way for it to go with your mindset. Isn't that right, Kim?
Absolutely. What do you think, Julie?
Yeah, I think she did really well. She comes across really well, and she's getting her points across. So yeah, I think she's done really well, and it's really good.
Yeah. Well, the full episode is just under an hour. So that will be going out on Saturday morning, so on YouTube. So I will make sure that you're the first one to get that link. All right.
It's like having a present, isn't it? It's like having a present. Oh, it's like being a present to yourself, isn't it, really? It's quite spiritual, actually, when you think about it. It's like being a present to yourself, you know, your higher consciousness talking to your inner being, you know. And as I've mentioned before, you know, our soul is constantly trying to evolve back to what it was. We got programmed, you know, and it's just wonderful actually seeing it revert itself. So you're well on your soul's journey, Jamie. You're well on your soul's journey. I'm very proud of you also.
Yeah. Me too. I'm very proud of you, and thank you, Jamie, as well. Jamie, for bringing your mum today to Searching for Truth Uncovered.
You're an amazing mum.
Thank you.
You are. Yeah, you really are. So yeah, thank you. So that is it for Searching for Truth Uncovered. You have done it, Jamie. Thank you. I will get you back to do another podcast.
Hopefully then I'll be all healed and healthy.
Yeah, definitely keep in touch, and I know you're already in touch with Kim, and obviously with regards to triggers, I know you've got Kim, but you've also got myself as well. All right.
Thank you.